the league has had, there's a story this morning, Jason Tatum gets glossed over or ignored when observers consider face of the league. Hell, he wasn't face of the Celtics in the finals. Jaylen Brown was. Marcus Smart, 2 years earlier, was taking the ball from him. There's something about movie stars. Tom Cruise is a movie star. John Malkovich is a great actor. Denzel Washington, that's a movie star. Jeremy Irons, you could argue maybe a better actor, some would say. Maybe not. But there's a cool and a charisma. Tatum's excellent. He's not in the same zip code as cool. Zion had a chance to be face of the league, but he ate himself out of playing time. Ja Morant maybe had a chance. He wasn't mature enough. There's been 3 faces of the league, and I've been watching this league since I was on a bunk bed in 1972 watching Wilt and the Lakers, old Wilt with a headband, Jerry West, Gail Goodrich. Yes, that's why I got this gray hair. I've watched a lot of NBA in the 70s. The rest of you collected baseball cards. I collected NBA cards. 3 faces of the league: Magic, Michael, and LeBron. And that is it. Whoa, what about Kobe Bryant? He wasn't as popular as Shaq. People worshiped Kobe's talent. People liked Shaq. What about Steph Curry? He's close, but you can have one face of the league, and in his prime, LeBron was in his prime. And Steph's never really sold shoes. And by the way, you generally have to be the best player on your own team. For several years with KD, huge Steph fan. So there's a couple of factors that are really important. First of all, and this is why Steph is close, you have to have an otherworldly talent. We'd never seen anything like Magic Johnson. The smile, the passes. He was a 6'9" point guard. Against the Sixers in the finals, he played center and scored 42 points. Michael Jordan, greatest player ever. I mean, nobody played like Michael. You never seen anything like Michael. And LeBron James, again, walked into the league the first night of the NBA out of high school. He scored 20 points. He was scoring 40 later that year.
Okay. This is where this part of this conversation is so hard, because it's based off of made up nonsense. Okay? This idea that there's only been 3 faces of the league, like, according to who? Like, that's the thing. Like, the face of the league is the most made up nonsense that NBA media does. And it kind of drives me insane, because it's just so made up and manufactured in ways that make absolutely positive. Of course Steph Curry was a face of the league. Of course Kobe Bryant was a face of the league. Of course Shaq was a face of the league. There's multiple faces of the league at a time. It's who are the mega superstars that kids and adults alike go nuts for, that they lose their mind, that when they're playing ball on the streets, they imagine themselves being. That when they're playing video games, they want to be that character. They want the shoes. They want the jerseys. You were talking about selling shoes. How about Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson was without a doubt a face league. LeBron James himself has called that about Allen Iverson. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So it's just wrong. I mean, again, this just makes no sense that these are the only 3 faces of the league. That's absurd. Are we forgetting just how insanely popular Kobe was, Shaq, Allen Iverson? And I'm sure I'm missing other players as well. I mean, Iverson himself brought the whole hip-hop culture and the attitude and the swag to the NBA. Right or wrong, I mean, that's what he did. They had to change rules because of him, dress codes because of him. His shoes were everywhere. He has one of the most successful, shoe brand deals in the history of sports. And you want to talk about special? The dude was like 6'0" and was balling. So it's just absurd. And then, right, Steph Curry changed the NBA. People lost their minds when Steph Curry like officially exploded in like 2015, 2016. I mean, he was a cultural phenomenon. He like legitimately brought new fans into the NBA. If it wasn't for Steph and the Warriors, everybody was kind of getting tired and boring with LeBron James. And it's like, okay, LeBron, oh, he's with Miami now. Okay, cool. Oh, and the Spurs. Oh, cool. Kawhi Leonard beat them. Like, okay. It was kind of like, the Spurs weren't moving the needle that much. And I love watching the Spurs. I mean, they play high. I love watching high-level, highly intelligent basketball. But it's just like, that wasn't bringing in new fans. Steph Curry was. Shooting those threes, the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson, absolutely. I mean, Steph revolutionized the game even for little girls. I feel like Steph was one of the first NBA players that, like, now you saw, like, little girls, like, going nuts for the NBA in ways that we just never really saw. And you had more, like, older women and older people in general. Like, my mom knows Steph Curry more than she knows, some of these other, than Ja Morant, for instance. And I always love to use my mom as a reference because, like, she is, like, by definition, a casual fan. She watches games. She's obviously not watching shows like this and stuff like that. If I'm watching stuff with her, I'll have to explain things to her. But she is the type of fan that the NBA and the NFL need as well, to kind of get that full circle of fans, where you're going to have the diehards, you're going to have the people that watch like weekly games, but kind of, you have people that only watch the playoffs, you have people that watch the moments. Like, my mom's watching the Olympics and she's like screaming and cheering, and I'm not even so sure she even knows exactly what she's screaming and cheering for, but she's with it. She wants to watch it. She's excited. She wanted to watch the basketball documentary. She doesn't care about Zion or Ja Morant. She knows Steph Curry and who he's married to, and, his little children, and, and things like that. She knew Iverson. She knows Kobe, Shaq. Because when you talk about the face of the league, it's definitely more beyond the people that truly watch the game. Because anyone who really watches the game, they don't care about the face of the league. Because what the heck does that even mean? The face of the league. Like, it's a nonsense topic that we have, like, every single year. And it's kind of mind-numbing at this point, because it's this forced narrative. And then we're going to have to say, like, oh, well, Tatum can't be the face of the league because he doesn't have charisma. And I'm going to make a separate video about Jason Tatum, because what made me want to do this clip was because I saw a clip, like, only like 5 seconds, where he pretty much doesn't talk very highly of Jason Tatum. And I only saw like 5 seconds of it. It made me really upset. And I was like, okay, I got to go find this full-length clip, and I got to go make a video about it. But now I see that he kind of talks about lots of things, as well as Jason Tatum. So I figured, okay, you know what? Let me just talk about this first. Because I think that there's only been 3 faces of this league are just kind of absurd to me, quite frankly. And to try to reduce the NBA to just these 3 guys, if that's true, let's just say that that's true, well, then that's why basketball is hurting so badly. Because if you were just saying that it all comes down to these 3 guys, well, then the NBA is making a terrible mistake. A terrible mistake. Because it doesn't make any logical sense to reduce an entire league of competitive basketball across the country to just a singular guy, and then want that guy to be the face for like 20 years. I love LeBron. I think he's great, etc., etc. I'm happy I grew up in an era where I could actually truly watch him play and understand, and that's awesome. But like, I don't need a singular face, or I don't need to see the same guy in the finals, the same guy in every commercial again and again. I don't need that. And you know what? Most people don't either. It's why every time someone gets famous or successful or popular, eventually people are like, I don't want this anymore. Philadelphia Eagles fans, they love Jason Kelce, and now they're kind of like, yeah, I'm seeing a little bit too much of Jason Kelce. Travis Kelce used to be real popular, and now it's like, I don't really need to see him anymore. Patrick Mahomes, loved him. You shove him down my throat every 5 seconds in the commercials. I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't need to see, every time I turn on the TV, I don't need to see one person. It's off-putting. And that's why everyone starts making jokes about glazing and this or that, because it's like you can't watch a LeBron James basketball game without everyone just being drenched in, you know, their own stuff. And you're just like, bro, let me just watch the game. Talk about other players. Do other things. And it's the same thing with football. Oh, that's very Mahomes-like. You know, if so many people are doing it, then maybe it's not Mahomes-like. Maybe it's football-like. Maybe it's Josh Allen-like. Maybe it's Jalen Hurts-like. Lamar-like. You know, it's the media's obsession because it simplifies life for them. Not to mention, when you speak very highly of a super popular fan like this, it's easy views, easy clicks, easy money. Without a doubt. But you also push away other people too. And I know if my experience is kind of like, okay, enough of this, I know other people's experiences are like that as well. So, yeah. This constant conversation about the face of the NBA. The face of the NBA should just be the NBA, just like it is for the NFL. And the NFL does significantly better. Go figure. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the face of the NBA? And the fact that, according to Colin, there's only been 3 faces of the NBA. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.